Good afternoon, Black community. How is everyone doing today? I hope everyone is doing well. And if not, just hang in there. Everything will be okay. Last week, we talked about, has Black culture been used to sabotage the Black community? And we talked about the fact that we must take back our culture. This week, we will talk about economic empowerment and the importance of combining the dollar in the Black community. Let's get into it. Economic empowerment brings a certain amount of freedom and a certain amount of control over your situations and circumstances. It allows you to experience life on a whole nother level. You are able to enjoy more of this world and all the good things this world has to offer. The ability to sustain all of your needs as well as your wants and desires. Having this kind of power as a community will reshape the whole well-being of the community. This is how we will bring change to our community, by uniting our dollars and investing those dollars into our community. Owning all the stores and businesses within our community, bouncing the dollar within our community as long as possible. You spend your dollar at my store, I spend that dollar at the next Black-owned store, they spend that same dollar at the next Black-owned store, and that store spends that dollar at your store, and on and on and on. Spending and building with each other. This is how we gain wealth. This is how we will create Black empowerment. We must unite and rebuild our culture and make it a culture that will breathe life into our community, that will inspire love and respect for one another, loyalty and trust, so that we will be able to successfully unite our money without being scammed, cheated, or taken advantage of by people who don't have the community's best interest in mind. So we won't be taken advantage of by those people who will try to find ways to selfishly prosper themselves at the expense of others. In order to prevent this, we must think as a group. We must train ourselves to think as a community and not as an individual. We must think in terms of group economics. Dr. Claude Anderson is the father of this concept within our community. He does a great job of explaining and breaking down the concepts of Black empowerment through group economics. Every Black person on the planet should go out and buy Dr. Claude Anderson's series of books named Powernomics. It is the blueprint to Black empowerment. We must have a code of ethics that everyone must abide by, and if they don't, there must be consequences. In order for this to work, it must be taken seriously. People must know that if they violate our codes and standards, there will be consequences. This culture of responsibility has to be enforced. Nobody is going to play around when it comes to their money. We as a people got to change our behaviors and spending habits. Spending the majority of our money on high value, disposable items is counterproductive to building wealth. We must make it a norm within our community that we are a frugal people, a people that understands the power of money and that it is a tool to be used according to its purpose. We must teach our kids at a young age the importance of money and how to create more of it, so that when they get older, the concept of money will not be foreign to them, and they will be able to build upon the foundations we lay for them. Right now, almost every generation has to start from scratch, trying to build a financial life for themselves, because the generation before them had nothing to pass down to them. This is what we must change. We must make it part of our culture to leave an inheritance for our kids, to build and leave a legacy. Even if it's just a family home, we should be able to pay it off and leave it to our kids. Keeping up and renovating our homes so they will hold their value, which will bring up the property value of the neighborhoods. A high value neighborhood brings a bigger return on our homes when it's time for resale, which will bring more profit if our kids need to sell in later years. We must stop with the "my kids gotta work as hard as I did" kind of attitude and leave something for our kids to build on. We must acknowledge and recognize within our own culture and within our own community who we are as a people. We are a special people, a people that have a righteous moral center, people who are extraordinarily intelligent, extremely strong emotionally and physically. We have always had a resilient sense of familyhood and community. All throughout our hardships, we've always fought hard to keep and secure our families. We are a hard-working, creative, and artistic group of people. This is who we are as a people. Once we build trust, loyalty, and a united understanding of how to use money to build wealth, we must then develop a vision. Our vision must match and coincide with who we are as a people. With our specific struggle and unique history, our vision cannot resemble anyone else's vision because no one else has the same experiences we as the Black community have. No one else can see this world the way we see this world. Approaching economic empowerment with our distinctive insight and perspective can lift us up to great heights within a short amount of time. It can be done because it was done before. 10 years after slavery, we had already started building our own towns and businesses and banks. We had doctors and lawyers. We established thriving communities when it was just previously against the law for us to read. That's why I know when we unite and come together with our money and our might, we will be unstoppable. We will own our own towns again and own all the businesses and stores that will provide all the essentials and necessities we need as a community. Owning our own vacation destinations across the diaspora. Uniting and doing business together as Black people. Uniting our resources and our know-how to build a networking system that will make us self-sufficient and sustainable for generations to come. We gotta get in our brains that we must unite and we must focus on our own self-interest as the Black community. We must take interest in what is beneficial to our community and focus all of our money, intellect, energy, all of our talent, skills, and abilities on those areas and build upon it. We must pool all of our resources together and build from the bottom up our pathway to economic empowerment. Leadership and organization will be required for such a monumental movement to be successful. We must be willing to commit. Nobody can force this attitude on us. We have to want to do it. We have to want to do what's best for our community and want to be productive members of that community. We have to want to represent our culture proudly with honor and respect. The same way, we must discipline and correct those in the community that harm or hurt the community. We must also recognize and reward those who do good things that uplift and bring honor and respect to our community. We must celebrate and shine a light on those who do things that are worth admiring. Uniting our dollar is essential for us to win in this economic race. We have athletes, football and basketball players in almost every major city in America. We could set up a program where athletes get together and adopt a city. Work alongside with the local people in those areas, pooling their money together and investing in businesses owned by the people within those communities. Entertainers and business people can all take part in this movement to build Black economic empowerment. We all can take part in Adopt a City and help empower ourselves and build an economy within our own community. An economy that will fuel upward mobility for all of our families and for generations to come. With this new empowerment, we can take control of our local and state politics and really make demands from this country to pay us what they owe. Tell me what you think, Black community. How important is economic empowerment within our community? Is it possible for us to combine our dollars together and build up our communities the way they need to be built? To invest in schools and businesses, home ownership? Comment down below. Tell us what you think. Let's open up this discussion and see where it takes us. Tune in next Sunday at 12 o'clock Central to One Culture, One Community as we go deeper into the Black perspective. Thanks everyone for listening. Talk to you later.